Hey guys, it's Talart here, and today I'm going to be talking about 10 things I wish I knew when I first started drawing. Now, the first one is really important to me, and I thought I would start this one out first, and it's draw from real life. Now, when I first started drawing, I was just drawing anime characters and like cartoons and stuff like that, and honestly, I probably didn't learn anything from it. So I highly suggest that if you're starting out, I know you guys want to draw anime characters and all this stuff, but I really suggest that you draw people like in real life, clothing in real life, buildings, literally everything you can see in real life. I promise you, you won't regret it, because later on in the future, when you are drawing your anime characters, when you're trying to create your manga or anything like that, it will be a lot easier for you because you already practiced all the basics. In real life, it really helps you learn colors, shading, everything, so that when you actually go and try to apply these things in your own drawings, it's 10 times easier. And I promise you that, drawing in real life is so important, and I wish I had known when I first started. And my family would tell me oh, why don't you practice like this, why don't you do like that, and I never really took it seriously because I was like, oh, they don't know anything. But it's true, guys, drawing from real life is very, very important. Number 2, references are your friend. The only thing is that with references, it's a very delicate line that you can cross, so it's very important that when you're using references, you're applying it your own way, so that you're not copying the reference, but rather you're applying it with another reference, or just mixing it up to learn from it. You know what I mean? References are for learning from, so it's very important that you get the right references and use them the right way. And I actually mentioned that in my Is Copying Is Bad video thing, kind of how you should use references, but not really. Maybe I should redo it and do another video about how to use references. Anyway, just remember, guys, references are good for you, and don't be afraid to use them. It's not like artists these days don't use references. It's very important. It's not like your brain can store every picture in your mind. So references will help you guys, and don't try to run away from using references. I know a lot of people think, oh, you're not an artist if you don't use references or something like that, or if you do use references. But really, everyone uses references. Oh my, are you serious right now? Okay. Anyway, number 3 is focusing on improving one medium. I think this is kind of something that this kind of just targets myself, because for me, I just kept using color pencils, watercolor, paints, everything. It's nice to broaden your horizon, I guess, using different kinds of things. But really, if you focus on one and you get really good at that one medium, then honestly, you can do anything. If I focused on Copics, for example, which I am doing right now, then Copics are so much easier to use. And then when I go to watercolor, it's wow, watercolor is even easier than Copics, and you know what I mean? So when you learn the tricks and techniques of Copics or something, then when you go to watercolor, it becomes a whole new world, and you kind of can apply things that you learned from Copics to that, and it's just really cool. You slowly start using different mediums. I don't really suggest using everything, using color pencil, using marker, using this, using that. Just use what you're comfortable with. That way you can focus on just improving how you color and how you draw and stuff like that. Anyway, number 4 is don't be afraid of colors. Speaking of, and don't be afraid to color your drawings. I always, when I was younger, I was like, oh, I don't want to color this because I'm afraid I'm going to ruin my drawing. But that is the worst thing you can do. Trust me, you will draw a better drawing than what you draw now, because you're going to be constantly improving. So don't be afraid to color it. Even if you really have to and you're gonna poop your pants from fear, then go scan it and print another one and color that one, if anything. Really, I promise you, practice coloring. Don't be afraid of colors. Use as much as you can, different colors, try different things, so you can improve on your coloring too, because later on, it's not just the sketch that sells, it's also it's the whole drawing. For me, my coloring is not that great, you know what I'm saying? So I just regret not practicing with colors when I was younger, because all I did was sketch, and I focused so much on line art and improving my line art that now I love my line art, but my coloring doesn't match with it. You know what I mean? Anyway, number 5, try to draw every day. And a lot of artists say this, that drawing every day will help you improve and stuff like that. But honestly, like, who has time for that? Am I right? With school, work, whatever, like, nobody has time to constantly draw every day. But like, I never thought of how important it really was. When I was in high school, I took almost a full year break from drawing, and I regret it so much, because that whole year I could have improved 10 times more than I am right now, for example. So it's really important. Even if you can't draw every day, just try to sketch, draw a potato, draw in your notebook, just draw something, or at least enhance, like, expand your visual library by looking at drawings, you know what I mean, so that you have drawing in your life somehow. So it's very important, because this is the only way you're going to improve. Number 6 is don't push yourself to create a style, like create your own style, because a lot of people are always like, including me, I did this so much. I was like, I need to create my own style. I'm so stressed out. I don't know how to make my own like thing. But honestly, guys, it will come to you yourself. Don't push yourself. Don't stress yourself out trying to make your own style, because this way you're just gonna make you not like your drawings ever. For me, when like, this was during when I was uploading on YouTube, I kept trying to have my own style, because I just wanted to be like, you know, this is Talart's drawing, you know what I mean? But the more I kept drawing, the more I noticed there were things that I just like typically did in my drawings, and slowly I noticed that my style was kind of coming out of my drawings on its own. I didn't need to push it. If you rush it, then your style is just not gonna be you. It's just gonna be a mix of so many different things that you'll be even confused from your own drawing. So it's very difficult, but try not to push yourself to create your own style. Like, just ignore it. Have fun drawing. Relax. Style doesn't matter right now, guys, so don't worry. That will come on its own. Now, number 7. Draw your favorite things and not what other people like. I know this kind of is like a little bit weird, because, you know, this is mostly for myself, because I have a bad habit of trying to please everyone. That's like my favorite thing to do. So I feel like sometimes I run away from drawing because I don't want to draw like something that my family likes or something that my friend likes, and I want to draw something for myself. So if you're like that type of person, if you're like me who likes to draw things to make other people happy, sometimes it's important to remember that you draw because it's true you like to make other people happy as well, but remember that drawing is what makes you happy, and you should draw what you like too. So this is kind of like talking to myself, because sometimes I forget that why I even started drawing to begin with, and I wanted to make myself happy as well. It's kind of like my escape. So it's very important that I don't forget that, you know, I need to draw when I'm like, when I want to make myself happy, I guess. I don't know if that makes sense. Anyway, number 8. Expensive supplies don't make you draw better. Now, I feel like a lot of people are like, oh man, I gotta get those Copics, I gotta get those blah blah blah, I gotta get this, I gotta get that. But honestly, guys, you know, for me, for example, when I started drawing, all I had was Sharpie, pencil, and an eraser, and some Crayola color pencils. It really doesn't matter, guys. You know, like, if you really like drawing, then you can draw with anything, really. I promise you. So it doesn't matter. I don't even think some of the expensive art supplies are even worth it. Some of them are actually worth it, like secretly. But there are some that I literally would pay so much money for, but they're just in the back of my closet hiding, and I've never used them. So remember, guys, like, don't get expensive supplies unless you know, like, you're going to be using this a lot. For example, like Copics. Copics are very nice, but they're not really, like, something you really need. So remember, guys, literally, like, watercolors are almost the same thing as Copics. So alright, so number 9. Learning through videos and books is useless if you don't practice. Now, when I was younger, I thought that buying all the books and watching all the videos would make me just a huge best artist, best person in the world, like best artist. But no, that's not the case, guys. If you don't practice those techniques that you learned from those books and videos, then it's worthless. And that goes back to where I said draw every day. You know, like, if you learn one thing from, like, how to draw profiles from a book, right? Don't just practice it that one time and then, wow, yes, I know how to do it. No, like, the next day, go back to it again, draw that same exact thing, draw it over and over. Drawing it only one time will not help you for anything. You did not learn anything from it. Drawing it one time is kind of just like visual library memory that only lasts like a minute. If you draw it over and over, your hand, it's like becomes muscle memory, so that next time when you want to draw a side profile view, your hand is used to it. Your brain knows what to do. You're ready to go. You don't even need a reference for profile. Maybe you need reference for other things, but you know how to do it because you practice this. So it's very important that you do learn from videos and books, but you practice those things that you do learn. So remember, I know, it's like, wow, like that's weird, right? But no, when I first started drawing, I wish I had practiced that a little bit more. I remember I did a little bit from the books, but when I would watch videos, I would just draw them one time and then I would stop. And it's really useless like that. So it's very important that you practice it, guys. And number 10, this one is a really big one. So I remember when I first started posting on Instagram and like that kind of stuff, I'd be like, sorry guys, I haven't posted in a while because I have art block. But art block is not real. I know that sounds weird, like, wow, you're saying art block is not real. What do you know? Like, I don't. It could be real, it couldn't. But if you tell yourself that you have art block, then you really will have art block. So don't say that, guys. Just say, oh man, I can't think of any ideas. Maybe I will take a break. Maybe I won't draw for a week just so I can relax a little bit. Try to expand my visual library. I'm going to go jogging. I'm going to go eat some bagels or something like that. So it's very important to just kind of get away from the idea that you have art block. Let's say one day you just don't draw good and then you're like, man, I hate my drawing. I must have art block. No, sir, you don't have art block. That just means that you're just not having a good day. And I think that if you feel like you have art block, then it's like time for you to take a break. For me, it would be like, oh man, I can't draw anything the way I want to draw like this whole week, or I can't think of any ideas. I don't know what to do. Just stay away from it. Like, look at your favorite art, watch your favorite shows. Try to like rebuild your brain. I feel like with art, the main thing for you is that you need to keep refreshing your brain. It's like you need to expand your visual library by looking at photos, but not only that, but you also need to look at different things to expand your creative library, where it has all the cool things that you like, and those are the things that you want to create into drawings. So for me, it would be like, oh, my favorite show is We Bare Bears, and I'm running out of things to draw, so I'd go watch We Bare Bears, and then something from We Bare Bears appears, and I'm like, whoa, I want to draw that, you know what I mean? Or I'd watch Star vs. the Forces of Evil, and I'd be like, oh my god, let me draw that girl, she is so cute. So that's what would happen. Then I would go draw her, and like, there, bye-bye, my art block is gone because I just watched something that inspires me, and I just expanded my creative library and my visual library just by watching that show. So it's really important that you guys take a break. If you feel like you have art block, which is not really, well, it could be real, but who cares? Anyway, if you feel like there's something wrong, like you can't draw the way you want, or you don't know what to do, you don't have any ideas, then it's really, really, really important not to push yourself to keep drawing when it's not time for you to draw. And that, like, honestly, drawing is not supposed to create stress for you. It's supposed to de-stress you. And if you feel like drawing is creating stress for you because, oh, dang, I have to draw this for my friend. Oh, no, I have to draw this for this. And, oh, man, I have to finish this drawing today. Or, oh, man, my feet suck, like my usual feet. And that kind of stuff, then, like, just don't. Don't even bother. It's not bad to take a break. I feel like earlier, true, I did say try drawing every day. That's like when you're cool, like you're having a good time, you're cruising and perusing, like that kind of thing. And once you do, like, let's say you draw every single day and you're like on a roll and bow, like this is awesome, really cool, really nice. But then one day you're just like, oh dude, I just can't right now. I just really can't. Then it's not a big deal. Just don't, just stop, breathe. And then a couple of days later, just come back and try again. And then for those days that you missed, draw for all those days that you missed and make up for it. So, yeah, those are kind of things that I really wanted to emphasize. And I wish I had done all of these things when I first started drawing. And now it feels like I'm just starting to learn all over again, because now I'm actually going to follow these rules. And I'm going to practice a little bit more and expand a little bit more. So I hope you guys learned what I just learned from my past history. And good luck, guys, and I know you'll improve. Just don't give up. I get a lot of comments on my tutorials saying, I drew this one time and it looks like trash, or it looks like poop, or I'm like, no, please. It's not supposed to look good the first time. That's the point. It's supposed to look bad the first time, and then when you draw it the second time, it's gonna look better. And then when you draw it the third time, it's gonna look better. So please don't give up, guys. You can draw beautiful art. I know it, and I can just feel it in my fingertips. Alright? So I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye-bye.